Yo, what is going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today, I'm going to be bringing you guys the little 1-year present that you guys deserved. I've been doing YouTube now for about a year. It's actually just over like a year and 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, you guys wanted to see like a little Q&A as like a celebratory anniversary for YouTube. So yeah, we'll be doing a little Q&A. I got these questions from Discord, Twitter, I think, YouTube, I think. Yeah, Discord, Twitter, yeah, I thought I was missing one. Yeah, we got it from those three. I haven't read over many of them yet, so we'll be going through all of them, and we'll just give them my first answer, first thought on stuff. If you aren't there, guys, make sure you guys please subscribe. We're growing ever so quickly, but I know a lot of you guys still are not subbed, so if you do like the content, make sure you hit that sub button. Just do it! And last thing before I start up, if you guys are interested, we have just got a TikTok. I think I have like one video on there now. So if you guys are interested in that, go check that out. And then also stream on Twitch almost every single day around after scrims 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. Those links will be in the comments. I mean, in the description. Let's just get right into this. So we'll start with the Discord questions. First question is from Fivzy, the Lord of Nothing. Why are you so handsome? And what do I have to do to be like you? Well, you see, every morning I wake up and piss excellence. I don't remember where the rest of the quote goes. You could. But yeah, that's what I do. That's what you have to do to be like me. That's basically what I'm saying. So that's what you got to do. The next question's from Frosty, aka the stinkiest ever. And it says, why doesn't she love me? Well, Frosty, it may be because you are the stinkiest ever. If you cleaned up that, maybe she would love you. Next one is from the Gov37. And it's, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? I'm not really that into alcohol. I just kind of drink it when I want to have like, I don't know, like a good time. I don't like casually drink like a beer or anything like that. I don't know though. I guess it would just probably be like a vodka fruit punch or something like that. I don't know. I'm really not that into alcohol, but yeah, if I had to drink something, it'd probably be something like a vodka fruit punch. The next question is from Variety. Yes, that Variety, the handsome, tall, dashing one. Yes, the charismatic one, him. It says your Smite dream team. And I assume this means not who I want to play with, but who is just like the best 5 players that I want to see, or the 5 players I want to see compete together the most all through history. And I guess I'd say in solo, I'd probably say, I'd say Omega. I think Omega would be cool to see how he'd play right now. I think Omega would want to play with someone that's more aggressive of a player, somebody who would get involved with him. I think for jungle, I'd say... Actually, no. Who am I kidding? Adapting in jungle. I feel like the mid that I liked watching the most was probably Yaman. But I think I'd rather watch Pretty Prime play with this team. Support and ADC. I feel like I'd have to take a duo. Jeff Bear is a classic. PBM Panda is a classic. You got Emil and Raffer. Maybe we break some of them up and change it up a little bit. Let's go Zatman and Raffer. So we go Zatman, Raffer, Pretty Prime, Adapting, and Omega. I think that'd be a pretty cool team to watch play together. Charlie, what's your biggest tip for supports in order to improve in the role? There's really no like tip that separates roles for like something that's going to be the biggest thing to like help you improve. Just getting game time in, because knowing when you need to dive, when you need to peel, when to hold an ability, when to throw the ability, when to backline, when to frontline, when to dive a tower, when to play for an objective. Like there are so many things that go into the role and go into Smite as a whole, that the only thing you can really do is just play the game or watch the game at a top level to see when they're doing it, or to play it and to feel when it's not good and to feel when it is good. Like there really is no just like tip that helps you become better. Watch the top players. They know what they're doing for a reason. You can learn a lot from them. This was from Eliond. If you had a choice to go pro in another game, what game would you see yourself in? I love MOBAs, so I'm just going to say League. A lot more money in League. MOBAs are probably just my favorite genre of games. I can't really think of another game. Like Valorant's fun, but I don't think it'd be that fun to play pro. Not like Overwatch or anything like that. Shooters or whatever. Yeah, I'd probably just say League, and I'd want to be a top laner in League. This question's from Pred. What's your favorite Pokemon card you own? I guess I could have grabbed it before this video, but it is a Dark Magneton from Team Rocket, and it's a first edition holo. First edition holo, and it's worth, if it PSA 10s, right now it's a raw card, so I haven't gotten it graded yet, but if it PSA 10s, it's worth like $75 to like $10,000. And I pulled that like live on stream. Like there's a clip out there somewhere. of me pulling it. It was so hyped to see it pulled. That's my favorite card by far. I wasn't even a big Magneton fan before then. And then I pulled the card and now I'm like, that's like top 5, top 10 Pokemon for me. Next question is from Jake Pittman 11. What do you think is the most influential item in Smite? Like if it was removed, it would change the game the most. Well, boots, but boots are removed. I guess it would just be what item is bought kind of the most. ADC builds change up a decent amount. I don't think any item is really that influential in ADC. Maybe Mask, because Mask is bought a lot in solo. It basically just switches up that role completely. But that's kind of boring. If you go Deso, Magus is just going to be kind of like the top tier. I don't know if there really is like, I guess like Thebes, because you see Thebes nearly every game. And if Thebes was removed, how support's played probably changes a good amount. So I'll say Thebes. But yeah, I don't really know. I think Boots is like the most influential and nothing else has really like reached that tier. Storm V asks in Discord, what were some childhood games you enjoyed about like 5 to 12 age range? And how did you get into Smite? Childhood games you enjoyed. I was a Nintendo kid. So GameCube, N64, Wii U, I played all of them, and I have a Switch right now. Games I enjoyed, probably like almost any Mario game you can think of. Mario Galaxy, Super Mario, Paper Marios, Mario Sports, like all Mario games I loved. I was a COD kid too, so I played COD. Halo, I loved Halo. Trying to think, is there anything like that's a little more obscure? Oh, I remember when I was pretty young, like probably 5 to 8, we had a PC and we had Zoo Tycoon. It's an old PC game, and some of you guys have probably heard of it. Some of you guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But I probably put more time into that game than like any other game other than like maybe COD and Smite. But I used to just play that game so often, and I loved that game. And I actually tried to play it a little bit last, or maybe it was this year on stream, but the quality is so bad. It looks so bad to stream. Now moving on to the YouTube section. These are the ones that you guys asked. So the first question is from Silver Gaming, and it's why Smite? And I thought this was a really sick question. I didn't really, like it's kind of like a lot deeper. Like, why do you enjoy Smite? Why is Smite the game that you go pro in? And I think it's a couple things. I like mythology. I never loved it, but I did like it a lot. I was always interested in kind of like older times, older religions, stuff like that, just how stuff operated. The church and government, like balance of powers kind of was always interesting. And I think that kind of helped me get into Smite. Once I really got into Smite, like the first game I played was Arena. Game mode I played was Arena, and then I thought Arena was the main game mode for 2 months, and then I tried Conquest, and I was like, this is unreal. This is unreal. I like this. Give me more of this. And then I stopped playing Arena almost altogether because Conquest is so much fun to me. I would get home from school and I would get my 5 buddies on, 6 buddies on. Sometimes like there was almost 10 of us and we'd just play customs. And we would just play Conquest like the entire night, and it'd be like 11 o'clock, and then, or I'd like stop for dinner maybe at like 7, and then I'd head back down to play some more, and I would just grind the game even more, and it was just a blast to play. And like even now, the game is fun to me. Sometimes I get like a little burnt out because I play 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours a day from streaming scrims and then just casually playing the game. And I still enjoy it a lot. The game just has so much replayability, and just no game will ever really feel the same. Even if you have the exact same 10 gods, there's a very small chance that every god in that game buys the same items. And then there's the same, or there's even less of a chance that people play the map the exact same way. Like there's just so much flexibility in what you can do. And then the third person is also something I love. I don't really like top down from League. I think like just all that together, just I loved. Maxine Dubuc says, why do you think Smite isn't as popular as other MOBAs? You know, I think it's a couple of things. It doesn't play the same as other MOBAs because it's the only non-top down one. All the other third person MOBAs have died off. Paragon, Gigantic, I think was another one. I just don't think it's as popular as like the top-down MOBA. I think the game also didn't get advertised that great when it was small and new, and I don't think enough resources were kind of put into it for it to blow up. I think League kind of hit like this perfect storm at the same time where the game was new and it was fresh, and it was like a nice re-release, or not re-release, a reimagination, I guess, of the Dota, MOBA Dota 2. And I think League just kind of hit it, and they hit it hard, and they made the game enjoyable. I think the biggest thing is that first Worlds is a big turning point, and then that second Worlds to follow it up is an even bigger turning point in the game. And I think League and Smite off that first Worlds were both kind of riding that same like wave, and they were both doing well. And then the second season, I don't know what it was exactly, but Smite kind of fell off. Like they had Cloud9, TSM, Envy in the game, and it still fell off a lot. And then League hit that, and they just like ran with it and took off. I don't know what exactly it was in that second season, but I think that second season is what defines Smite the most as not being a big of a game as like League. Lee Murrison says, what was the first god you mained? I was an X-Ball main for like 2 months because in a Siege game, I was playing some other hunter. I don't remember exactly who it was. I was boxing an X-Ball late game, and I hit like 1 extra auto than him with the same exact build. But because of his passive, where it gives you free power, he actually outboxed me and killed me. And I was like, that is OP. I want to play this god so I can outtrade people who I'm worse than. And then, yeah, I played him, and I loved critting for large numbers. I played him for probably like those 2 months, and then I moved on to, I think Scylla. I think Scylla was the next one because I just thought her ult reset was sick, and I loved watching Stealth play. Tubnuts asks, what other games do you enjoy? Right now, I'm not really enjoying too many other games. I guess it's like, I got my my Game Boy. I just bought this. And I've been playing a little bit of Fire Red. I play Pokemon Go, and then I play like Valorant and DBD, and those are like the only things I play other than Smite. I'm kind of a weird person because I don't like playing stuff unless I'm good at it, if it's a competitive game. So I've kind of stopped playing Valorant because I haven't been able to put the time into it to be like a great player. I feel like DBD is not much of a competitive game, same with Pokemons. I think they're just more of a casual kind of like party games that you can play whenever and you'll be fine. So I'm fine playing those, but Valorant I've kind of stopped playing just because I like being the best, and I don't like being not good. Purpleplex asks, why did you begin playing Smite in the first place? In high school, I was like 16, 17. My buddy had the game. He had a closed beta or open beta code or whatever for Xbox, and he gave it to me and said, yo, let's play this. So we played it. I hated it. I didn't play it again for 2 weeks, and it was an arena. And then I played it again after those 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, I could get in this game. It's pretty fun. And then I found a conquest, and then from there, the rest is history. I loved the game. Hello There asks, what seasons were your favorite and least favorite? I think this season, because I think I've been playing the game for like a long enough point where this season has kind of been my favorite at some points and my least favorite. Like the starter items made this game so refreshing and so much fun, and there's so many opportunities to do things that I love that, and I love how many things you can do. But I feel like there's a lot of negatives with the game right now too, where there's so much damage in the game. Junglers are just not very good. Mages and ADCs are very OP, but mages mostly are very, very OP. And I think that's a little bit annoying to play against as a support player because we kind of get one shot. So it's a little frustrating. But yeah, I think this season has been both my favorite and least favorite. Macabres says, would you say Stu is an asset or a detriment to the Solar Scarabs? Some games he's a weapon. Some games he's a hindrance. So it just depends on when we get him. Matt Hurt asks, how are you able to get into the Pro League? Well, I was a console player originally, and I won 2 worlds on console. In between the 2 worlds I won, I got an offer to play with Weekend. And I played with Weekend for one of the PC worlds, and we got destroyed. Basically, I was just considered one of the best non-SPL players at that point because of all my work in the console scene and the Pro League from before that. I did get the offer to play in the Pro League. Next question's from the Flaming Tornado 1. What's your favorite food? Please no bad answer like bacon or pizza. Well, you took away 2 of my answers, so I guess we'll say, I don't know. I love barbecue. I love pasta, potatoes. I don't know. I'm going to say pizza just because it's an easy, simple answer. But I love all sorts of food. I don't really have a favorite. Boring. Next question is from Shampoo8357. And it says, huge respect for you, boss man. Great to see you. Some chill support content. Congrats on the 1 year. Hope you hit the heights you deserve, boss man Bobby. Is there any changes to SPL you would make based on your experience from an inside perspective? If no limit to anything, if I could just make changes I wanted to do, and I was allowed to do anything I wanted to, I would make SPL EUNA again with 6 teams in each league, and they meet up 4 times a year, spring, summer, fall, and then for Worlds. I know the problem with this is there's a lot of money that you need to put in to do that, a lot of resources, you need a lot of buildings in both NA, EU, but that's what I think would make Smite the most fun. I'd also allow more actual like NA versus EU clashing, because even though those the Chinese teams, I think it was Brazilian teams, the Australian teams in those season 2 to 3 and season 1, even though they kind of got dominated, it was just something refreshing to seeing these teams and their takes on the game from different regions, like double man lane from, I think it was the QG Reapers or something like that. I think OMG played a Hunter solo. Like, it was so refreshing and so cool to see like their ideas and what they thought Smite was at its best. So I think that would probably be my biggest change, is make Smite get supported from different regions. Obviously, I know the cost and the price of all that, but I think that would make it most fun. Ducey asks, or Ducey, do you ever get bored of Smite, and what do you do if that happens? Play through the pain. And I'm not trolling. I get bored of this game not a good chunk, but like maybe once a month I'll be like, I'm not having very much fun. And I just kind of give it like a day, 12 hours and just get back onto the grind. Because usually it's not Smite that's boring me. It's something in Smite that's boring me. Either it's ranked teammates are pissing me off. Scrims aren't going very well. I'm just in a mood. Like, there's a bunch of different things that could be the problem. It's usually not just I'm bored of Smite. I'm bored of things happening in Smite for the most part. Or I'm getting ganked off cooldown. Nobody's going to my purple buffs when I'm playing support, and so we just lose every fight. It's just those things, and then eventually I just kind of get over it and just play the game again. Next question is from Nathan Arthurs, and it says, who is your biggest god you could outlift, and opinions on Freya? Biggest god I could outlift? Bro, I could outlift maybe Cupid. I feel like I could outlift like an AMC, Scylla too. Actually, Scylla could lift like boats. I'm going to say Cupid, and I think that's it. I think the rest of them would outwork me. Maybe Izanami because she's the god of the dead, or matron of the dead. So she wouldn't be able to do much, but yeah, I don't know. And then opinions on Freya. Next question from Carlos Medina. Who's your favorite teammate you've ever played with / against? I'm going to say Ducky. I love teaming with Ducky. Love Ducky. Next question is from Pat McClock. What would you say to change my mind about the fact that lasagna is just a pasta sandwich? What would I say to change your mind? So I need to change your mind. Lasagna is just a pasta sandwich. I'd say a sandwich needs bread, and lasagna doesn't have bread on the outside. Next question is from Nissan Zaxima. If you had to choose between a grilled cheese with grape jelly or a tuna fish sandwich with marshmallow fluff, what would you choose? Probably the grilled cheese with grape jelly, because that one just sounds not good, while the other one sounds downright disgusting. Next question is from Lakeside, saying, I think it's rather important to know what kind of music you listen to. I listen to everything. I listen to rap, pop, classical, rock. I just enjoy music. The thing is a lot of people are like big music listeners, and I just like it. I don't love music. Like, I don't just sit down and chill and just listen to music and do nothing. I want to, if I'm watching something, I want it to be something that I can think about. If I'm playing something, I want to be able to like not have music in the background so I can focus on the game. So music isn't a giant thing to me, but I still enjoy music. Jackson Gilbert asks, how do you go about learning how to build and counter build opposing builds? As of now, I follow Smite source and only deviate to add passives or spectral if the game calls for it. I feel like I'm missing a lot of potential wins because I can't build. I think the biggest thing is just knowing spikes and stuff like that. If you're playing against triple guardian for some reason, a Heartward early is going to be pretty sick because those protections are going to stop a lot of that flat pen they're going to have or no pen they're going to have. If they have a pit comp, going bulwark is going to help your survivability a lot more than that Heartward. That Heartward is going to help your team a little bit more, but not you. If you have a problem with not getting enough cooldown in your build, going that Genji's in that position is going to be pretty sick because it's going to give you 10% cooldown and the passive. So it's just like thinking about the game at a level of like almost taking a step back actually and like looking at the game and be like, what is the problem in this game? Yo, we have double hunters. If I go Shoguns here, I might not be that tanky, but boy, can we do objectives? Is that going to be a problem? Do I need to be tankier? Am I not going to be able to work enough cooldown in my build? So even if I get that Shoguns, I need that little extra cooldown passive from Genji's where I'm going to be able to jump in, get that Genji's proc and jump out. It's just like kind of looking at the game from that outside perspective of what's going to help me / my team the most. Next question's from Dark Wolf. Hey, congrats on the year, man. Love your stuff. As a question, what role would you play if not support? Probably solo. I like the tankier roles, but the problem right now is there's no such thing as a tank. I also think mid's pretty fun, but I'm not very good at mid. I'd probably say solo lane. I think I'd be a pretty good solo laner if I committed to it. Next question's from Cacao25. What would you say to the Bobby from the past who just played Smite for the first time? Greetings from Mexico. Greetings. From Georgia. NA Georgia, not Europe Georgia. I'd say in 4 seasons, the support role is going to be irrelevant because prots suck. Maybe try to change roles before then so you can get to decent gods and decent builds and roles. And then if I agree what future Bobby told me, maybe I'd be in a different role now and I'd be having fun because I'd be a mid laner right now. So maybe. Next question is from Edward Rowan. Is there any situation where War Flag is more viable or even comparable to Sentinels? No. You suck! No, I don't think War Flag is viable even, let alone comparable. I think if you're building War Flag, you are putting your team at an inherent disadvantage for no reason. And until it gets another buff, I don't think it'll be even in the same vein as Sentinels. Next question's from Smite and Tactics. What's been the hardest skill to learn from competitive play that cannot be practiced by grinding ranked play? People skills. Knowing when and how to give / take criticism. I think just knowing how people are and how your teammates are and how your people you're like queued with are, you can either make them a better player by how you talk to them and how you bring them criticism and how you give them ideas by just knowing that person and knowing what you need to say to them. And I think that's just the thing, is just knowing people skills or having people skills, not knowing them. Next question from Callum Bright. As a support main, how do I climb the ranked ladder? Any advice on dealing with a game that with bad teammates who blame the support for everything? Loving the vids, keep up the good work, and all the best from Ireland. Thank you, man. Bad teammates is just mute them, honestly. I don't even need to touch on that anything more because by having them unmuted, they're probably going to have an effect on how you play. If your teammate's spamming, like, why aren't you getting in there? You might just int just so you can get in there, just to be like, I'm getting in there. But if you have them muted, you're going to be playing the same way. You're going to be making good plays. If they're being toxic, if they're being constructive with their criticism, saying, yo, Aries, you should start these fights and try to pull some beads. Like, at that, you're not muting them. They're just giving you constructive criticism. You can try it if you think it's a good idea. If not, say, no, I can't because so-and-so. But climbing the rank ladder, I say it, it's just playing aggressive gods. Games are either going 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and what god you're playing does not change that much on how the late game is going to play out. Teams throw very easily, but if you're playing Artio, Ymir, Serb, Kabrakan, Hercules, Horus, you can dictate and win these early games and help your team get those 15-minute wins. So I think that's the best thing to do. Next question's from Frey Magni. If you could design an item for Smite, what would it be? It'd be a Nemean change. Or I guess it would be basically like Nemean, but Nemean shouldn't be in the game because the item sucks. It'd be auto attack reduction based on how many prots you have. Like 8 to 12%. If you have like 300 prots, you get 12. If you have 20 prots, you get 8%. And I think that would just make ADCs easier to deal with in the late game and not just get one shot by him. Next question is from Gianpaolo Garoni. One of those two. Whom that you played with Pro Smite with, including the SPLs, has influenced you or taught you the most? Maybe a better way to phrase this is, over your Smite career, who has been your biggest mentor? Honestly, I think I'd just shout out all my coaches. From Console, Visions, on Obey, Kassir helped me an absolute immense amount. Now, Slaney, I feel like all my coaches have been just insanely influential and just taught me a ton. I really haven't had a mentor in Smite. I haven't had like a support I look to and like ask questions for. I don't know why. it's not something I do. I prefer to just keep it to kind of the coach and just ask him what he thinks. I would just say any of the coaches. Next question is from YouTube. And it says, you give out a really chill vibe, my dude. My question is, do you use the chillness to manage emotions of the team when things are getting heated and out of control? Fighting amongst teammates and ranked. You and PBM are my favorite supports. Love PBM. I think I have a chill vibe to me when I'm not in a competitive scenario. I know I have my faults at different times. I know when to be able to manage kind of my emotions when it's something I don't really have that much involvement in. Like ranked, I can just kind of not get tilted for the most part. Sometimes I do get tilted just because it happens, but I'm still learning that. It's just something you kind of always got to like take the hits and just like learn from. I'm still learning how to be a better teammate. I still get defensive when people call me out on something. When I make mistakes, sometimes I don't like saying that I made a mistake right away. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time. Sometimes I call somebody out for something when it really wasn't that big of a deal, and it was just, I'm frustrated, so I just need to point it at something. Like, I have these problems. Sometimes I can hold them back, and if arguments happening, I can talk through with them, but I'm definitely still human. I still make mistakes, and I'm not the perfect player. That's basically what I'm trying to get across. I try to help. Sometimes I can. Next question is from Meek Maestro. Bobby, do you think if they reworked Ganesha, he'd be better, or is it just a troll pick? If they reworked him, he'd be better. Yes. He is not necessarily a troll pick right now, but he is pretty bad. I think he's passive because you could use a rework. Next question is from Mifflin TV. Shout out Mifflin. His question says, does Bruno Mars is gay?
What the does that mean?
Mifflin.
You're welcome.
That's why you're the worst caster. Just kidding, I love you, Myth. But I don't even know what to say to that, so we're just gonna skip it. Next question is from One Weird Alien. If/when you retire from SPL, would you do YouTube full time? If you do, would you be strictly Smite content or more variety? I would want to do YouTube full time. I'd want to give it a try, see what happens with it, because I like kind of being my own boss, being creative, enjoying what I like to do. I like sharing it with you guys. And no, I don't think I'd strictly do Smite. I only do Smite right now because it's like basically my life, my livelihood. I stream, I scrim with Smite. Like I watch Smite. Like that's the reason that a lot of my content is Smite based, is just because my life is a lot of Smite based. If my life was able to be more variety, if I was able to just wake up and say I'm playing DBD today because I don't need to learn about the recent Smite patch, like that's something I would do. But I do need to learn about Smite patches. I do need to keep up on Smite content. I do need to still learn about Smite. Like, so I stick to Smite because I enjoy it, but I also kind of somewhat have to. And I think that's would be my answer. Also, One Weird Alien's asking, what are some shows where you'll finish it and instantly want to rewatch it? I'm not much of a rewatcher. I know a lot of people love rewatching shows because it was so good. But I think what I like about shows so much is the surprise factor with most of them. Yes, shows are good. Like, I've loved Prison Break. I liked the first 7 seasons of Supernatural. I loved Breaking Bad. I could name another 100 shows that I loved. But I've never rewatched a show. I don't care to. I'd rather give a chance to something else to like kind of fill that void. And if I don't like the next show, I just skip it and choose a different one. I enjoy that a lot more than rewatching. Even if I like those characters, there's something out there that I'm going to like just as much. MCD311 says, do you like the current pace of Conquest? Would you prefer the games to be faster or slower? Also, if you could create a god with 4 already existing abilities and 1 passive, what abilities would those be? I think the pace of Conquest right now is very bad. Not the length of the games, how the game is paced, like early to mid to late game, kind of like that. I think the laning phase of Smite lasts maybe 5 minutes in duo, maybe 7 minutes in solo, and maybe 30 seconds in mid. And I've always hated that about Smite. I've hated it. Smite is a game where, as Conquest is, the laning phase should be about, I don't know, 10 minutes for the mid game and 10 minutes for the late game. And then if it goes late, that's however long after. And I think that's been a great way for the game to be paced. However, right now, I think the early game lasts maybe 5 minutes-ish. I think the mid game lasts maybe 10 minutes, if that. And then I think the late game lasts 15 to 20 minutes. And I think right there is like the problem. The late game happens so early that it almost always feels like it's going to be a fire giant fight to win the game. Unless the team's getting absolutely stomped, it feels like we've got a fire giant fight happening right in however long. And it's felt bad when you have 3 gods that are already in their late game at 15 minutes, and then you have 2 that are lagging behind because their roles are just not in a great spot. Support jungle. And I just don't like that. I think the length of the games is fine. I just think how they're paced is very bad right now. And then 4 already existing abilities and 1 passive. What abilities would those be? So passive, it's got to be a sick passive. What passive do we think is sick? I think I'd do something like Osiris. I think Osiris is a really cool passive. For a 1 ability, something that could get in there. Wait, I've got it. The 1 is going to be Odin's 1. The 2 is going to be... The 3 will be on her jump. The ult will be Suki ult. And the 2 will be... I can't think of a 2 ability that sounds even remotely decent. I don't know, because I can't think of anything. I'm just going to say Kabrakan 2. Sure, that sounds like a kit for me. That sounds delicious. Next question is from Blugan, and it says, how's your day? My day is great, man. I've been loving life recently. I feel like every day has just been great. So I'm loving the day. Next question is from Mr. Groot, or Mr. Woot / Mr. Groot, I don't know, or the actual name. Why are you the GOAT support? What's your favorite Pokemon? I hope to be there someday. I mean, I know a lot of people still give me hate and I don't get a lot of love, but I really do believe the fact that I can be the GOAT support one day. And then what's your favorite Pokemon? Gengar. Love that guy. Next question's from Salazapt, and it's top 3 most handsome teammates over your whole career. Handsome. Bronic. That's the only one that counts. We'll do Bronic. Next question is from Friolito. And do you know how to make muscles bigger? I'm tired of being Slenderman on Halloween. Macros. Get your protein up and then work out. I think that is just like how you can do it. Next question from Wavy Star Chaser. Do you like Doritos? I like Doritos. Yes. Don't love them. I like them. Next question is from Paradox. What's one thing everyone gets wrong about you that you want to set the record straight on? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people know a lot of things about me, so I don't think there's many things that people get wrong. People spell my name wrong for some reason. Like when I'll go out to like Starbucks and I'll be like, my name is Bobby, and it'll be Bobbi. Like, that's not me, but sure. And then the last question is going to be from Sean Washir. Sean, congrats on the last question. What's your outro song? It is, I think, Skyward by Harris Heller, right? Mario? Maybe Mario give him like a yes or a no, like if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, maybe put the name up there. But like, I think it's Skyward. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please sub and like the video so I know you did enjoy and you enjoyed this type of content where it's just kind of a deeper look at me and just at me as a person, a gamer, everything about me. Make sure you guys comment if you guys have any other questions, if there's any question that you really liked or anything you really liked about the video. And I'll see you later, gamers. Have a wonderful night.